First warning, meteorologist Eric Burris. This is our evening coffee talk. Don't normally do it, but I'm here with the evening shift, so we're going to just kind of take the reins. And right off the top, the first thing I want you to know is that we continue to monitor this big, powerful storm system. This is a storm system that has been producing severe weather all day long. And as we speak, there's a new tornado warning posted for parts of the Florida Panhandle. It has been quite a remarkable evening. Tornado warning in effect for Franklin County for the next half hour up in the Florida Panhandle. There is also, speaking of the Florida Panhandle, a tornado watch that is posted until 2 a.m. for communities including Tallahassee, including Apalachicola, Panama City, and Pensacola. The weather here continues to be quite inclement, and I would go on to say that this line of storms is moving our direction. Now, that said, I want to show you some video. This was taken from the Tower Cam network of our sister station, WDSU, okay? This Tower Cam shot is from tornado warning coverage that they were in. You see it right there? That's a tornado moving through the community of Arabi and the lower 9. You see the power flashes there on the horizon and then lights kind of flashing down here. This was, and I'm going to bring it full screen for you, this was a very, very concerning situation. They were showing this live earlier this evening. Margaret Orr and Devin Lucy, meteorologists at WDSU, tracking this as it was moving through. And I would go on further to say that this is an area that had gotten hit by a tornado earlier this year. A remarkable and at the same time tragic event. We did hear of one fatality here. So there have been now, through the course of the day today, multiple fatalities, which as a meteorologist is truly the hardest thing you can possibly hear. All right, let's take another look at that cold front as it gets closer to us. And you can see the Panhandle just getting those storms firing up. So this is moving our way, right? Right. When does it get here? Let's take a look and see according to our Futurecast. And let's just roll through time, okay? 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. It's still outside of the WESH 2 coverage area, but it is getting closer. Okay, 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. We're starting to get closer and closer to our area, and through midday into the early afternoon, it is clearing Central Florida. So here's kind of the best time frame that we have based on all the new model data, okay? Late morning in our north and western areas, into the metro around lunchtime and early afternoon, and then getting into South Brevard County, South Osceola by about 3, 4, 5 o'clock, somewhere in that time frame, and then exiting by about 6, 7 o'clock. There may be some lingering showers, but that's kind of our best bet in terms of when the storms will be in your area. The dynamics are such. Let's just take a look at the overall setup now. There is, on a scale of 1 to 5, there is still a sliver under a level 4 risk for strong to severe storms, meaning widespread damaging weather, okay? That's where we are today. Let's look to where we will be tomorrow, which includes our threat here in Central Florida. We're under a level 2 risk for strong to severe storms. So thankfully, it looks like the dynamics will be less for Central Florida in terms of severe weather threats than what they are in the Panhandle, but they're not nothing. So we still very much need to watch this as it works our direction. A level 2 threat for strong to severe storms still means that there's the threat for scattered damaging winds, scattered tornadoes. And as a matter of fact, if we were to break this down, this is kind of where we're at, okay? All right, there you go. The risk for tornadoes is highest in our western areas. The risk for damaging winds is essentially from Orlando north and west. And the risk for hail does not seem to be quite prevalent. All right, it looks like for the most part, we're talking more along the lines of a wind event and perhaps even a tornado event, especially out west of town, okay? So that's where we're at in terms of the individual threats. I want to be very clear on a couple of things. First off, we have the chance to get severe weather every afternoon during the summertime, okay? Every afternoon during the summertime, we have a chance. But with cold fronts, kind of the way that this is playing out, we have just a little bit more mid and upper level support, just a little bit more, which is why we want to make sure to discuss this a little more ad nauseum, for lack of a better term, okay? So for tomorrow, we are calling this a first warning impact day. What does that mean? First warning impact day means weather's going to impact you. Sure, we get it. But it also means under that umbrella that there are damaging storms possible. And in those time frames, in those scenarios, we step up our coverage. We step up our need to inform you and your family to make sure that everybody knows what's going on, okay? As we settle into bed tonight, very, very important for me to just illustrate, our first warning live Doppler radar is nice and quiet. There's some rain off the East Coast, but that's not bothering us. You gonna load? I'll take a swig of water, it's okay. I figured I'd save my coffee for the 10 o'clock newscast. All right, so what are we tracking on live radar? There you go. Not a problem. Not a problem. And velocity, actually, not a big problem. Now, that said, what are you doing? Like, that's very interesting. Already, like, is that a thing? Broad circulation, but circulation nonetheless. Like, really? You're wanting to do that? Okay. I mean, it's off the shoreline. But really, that's what we're gonna do? All right, that's what you want to do. So tonight, rest easy, my friends. There's no concern for severe weather. This will all get to us tomorrow. Tonight, temperatures into the 60s. Not too bad. For tomorrow, though, showers, thunder showers, strong storms, severe weather a concern, okay? That's where we're at. In terms of the day planner forecast, we do start off, you know what, let's do this. Stand by. Actually, I guess that's what it's going to have to be. All right. So starting off with mostly cloudy skies, 9, 10 o'clock, mostly cloudy skies, but we're starting to watch those storms approaching us. And then by 11, 12, 1 o'clock, that's when the severe weather will be moving into our area. All right. What's the difference between scattered, numerous, and widespread storms? That's actually a really good question. So let's get over this. Let me pull that graphic back up. All right, so for the severe weather risks, think of it like this. In green, isolated risk. That means that out of all the storms we're tracking, 1 or 2 by themselves, isolated storms. All right, scattered means we're going to have a couple here, there, a couple of stronger storms, severe storms, a couple of damaging storms. Numerous means there's going to be some storms that are strong and damaging. Widespread, they're everywhere. And a high risk is just that, like a high risk is a very, very rare event that takes place. But it does happen from time to time. And I would point out that the threat that we are under up to the north this evening is a widespread risk. And I would furthermore say there are widespread damaging storms in those areas as we speak. So very much living up to this. If you happen to see or hear anybody saying this hit without warning, you must ignore that, please, because I can promise you this had plenty of warning. All right? So that's where we're at. So tomorrow, again, just to reiterate, threat for damaging wind gusts and isolated tornadoes is there. Late morning in our northwestern areas, early afternoon into the metro area, and then late afternoon exiting our southern areas, okay? Then, interestingly enough, I've got to tell you, there's a really interesting little weather scenario that's playing out for this weekend. So once the severe weather moves through tomorrow, we get chilly on Friday. Then Saturday, computer models are saying something quite interesting. They're saying a storm system is going to be marching into our area, and we're going to end up with chilly rains around. This is going to be nasty. Cold temperatures and rain. Let me be honest with you. This weekend's forecast, not looking fun, because it's absolutely nothing that Central Florida is used to. Cloudy, cold rains. Yeah. So let's look at the 7-day forecast, and then I want to go out and I want to look ahead to Christmas, because everybody's asking and it's a mess. The GFS is absolutely out to lunch. All right, so for tomorrow, a severe weather threat, late morning in our northern areas, midday through the metro area, and exiting our southern areas thereafter, okay? Friday, sunshine, partly cloudy skies, not bad at all. I think we'll get into the 70s and then be dropping those temperatures through the day, okay? Saturday, I think the morning is going to be okay. I think midday into the afternoon, we're going to start to see those showers, those rains moving in, and it's just going to be chilly rain. It's really not going to be fun. Overnight Saturday, crummy rain, just getting sick weather. Sunday morning, it will be clearing out, and by Sunday afternoon, things will be looking better. Then Monday, not too bad. Tuesday, a little front. Wednesday, not too bad. Thursday, Friday, another little front. And I'm just going to show this. Listen, you know I'm not a hyper. You know I always say computer models are guidance, not gospel, right? I'm like, I saw elves on TV. What's going on? Oh, it's old SNL. Okay. I'm going to show you the newest 18Z GFS for Christmas morning. I need everybody to understand that if you're drinking an adult beverage, you may need to take another sip. If you're drinking water, you may take another sip. Y'all are going to laugh at this. You ready? This is a look at the American GFS model temperatures for Christmas morning. That's a 30-degree low in Orlando. That's 28 degrees in Sanford. That's 26 in DeLand. That's 26 degrees in Ocala. Now, do I think that that's going to... Look, if that plays out, that's wicked cold. That's wicked cold. That's the current run. If we go to the 12Z run, one model run ago, it was showing 30s and 40s. 2 model runs ago, it was showing 30s and 40s. 3 model runs ago, it was showing 20s and 30s. And 4 model runs ago, it was showing 20s and 30s. The current model run is, believe it or not, colder than any other version of the GFS. Now, it's just a little too far out for the Euro. I'll go to the European. It's just a little too far out. The furthest the Euro goes out is Christmas Eve. Though notice the European on Christmas Eve morning is showing 30s across Central Florida. So that is way out there. But both models are talking up a really big chill. I don't think I like that much, but here we are. All right? So, Yukon says, I think those are Celsius temps. They are not. Okay, so that's where we're at. It's funny. We'll see. We'll see. In the meantime, 7-day forecast has enough there. We don't need to go beyond it. It's got enough there. Larry Vanzini says, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Let's just for grins come over and look at the moisture content. We'll switch over to the GFS. And multi-parameter precipitation type. All right, so this is the precip type. So GFS, Christmas morning, a few showers. Oh, the precip type doesn't go out as far. All right, so there you go. Do you go out further? You do go out further. Okay. All right, so there's the 540 line. Obviously, the 540 line very much dominating us. But no precipitation, no indication of precipitation other than rain. Okay, people? Just so that we're on the same page here. There is no indicator at all on any snow falling. Yay for a possibly cold Christmas. Brian and Jamie, I have a feeling it's going to be. James says the GFS is broken, return it, right? Yeah. Love it to be cold for Christmas. I could turn off the air conditioner. I've been running it, even though it's been cool, too humid. I get that. New tornado warning, by the way, for Wakulla and Franklin and Liberty counties for the next 30 minutes time. Yeah. Yep. Thank you for your updates. Of course, Nancy, but we could turn on the garden hose. You can, listen, you want to get goofy and do that? For sure. Yeah, have a little fun. Larry says, then it's off to ice this weekend. And then, yeah, and then you're going to leave the door open for ice to come out to everybody else. So, always fun. We have said for a while that this was going to be an active weather pattern that we were getting into. And I can tell you with absolute certainty, it's getting active, right? Like we can clearly tell that. Okay? One thing that I thought was interesting, the BSR really did us a solid. Today, so if I look at the calendar, on the 27th, so 2.5 weeks ago. 2.5 weeks ago, I added this to my calendar. Southeast severe big front. I added that on the 27th. Yeah, it did quite the number. So, very interesting. Very interesting. So that's where we're at, people. For tomorrow, the main concern for me is going to be this storm system entering into our area. The dynamics should be further north, but I got to be honest with you, there's such rapid fire in these tornado warnings now. I wouldn't be surprised if it's still got a little juice to it. 10 to 12 our northern spots. Metro is noon to 4, and then 4 to 7 in our southern areas, okay? All right, listen, I'm going to go pour over the newest data, make sure I've got the latest information for you. I will see you with complete updates on WESH 2 News at 10 over on CW 18, and then at 11 on Channel 2, okay? Know this, we're going to be staffing the Weather Center around the clock. We're going to keep you updated. I will be tweeting all morning. I'm not going to be getting much sleep. I'm going to be tweeting in the morning, tweeting through the day. We're going to be doing everything we need to do to keep you and your family safe. When there's severe weather, we will be on TV. We will be on social media. We will keep you updated, okay? In addition to tonight, we're going to also have our live coffee talk. We do it 7 days a week. I will see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Will I be a little grumpier? Yeah, I'm going to have no sleep, but I'll be there. So let's do this again, okay? Asking the questions, looking at the data, we'll get nerdy and make sure everybody's on the same page, okay? All right, be the sunshine in someone else's day or night. I will see y'all on TV in just a little bit and on Coffee Talk in the morning. Bye, y'all.